What's up, everybody? It's your boy back with another reaction video, and I'll be reacting to paranormal videos to keep you up at night. I think this is from Mr. Nightmare. I'm not sure, but anyway, I'll find out, and I'll put a link to the original video in the description, like always, and you can go check out that video yourself. Go check out that channel, like, comment, subscribe over there, show them some love. You know, do all that good stuff. But without further ado, let's get into this video. All right, here we. Oh, it said 6.
A Redditor by the name of Jessica shared footage she
Okay,
recorded.
that's Mr. Nightmare. It maybe is multiple different
wasn't supposed to be anybody
from
else
different
in the
channels.
and she didn't even meet the owners, as the keys were left in the mailbox. Shortly into her stay, she was getting ready to take a shower when she started hearing sounds from inside the walls. She rushed to get her camera and get the sounds on video. This is what she captured.
Man, yeah, I'd be like, maybe a TV's on. The fuck is that? Why was that taped up?
As you can see, after finding a sealed ventilation duct and pulling the seal off of it, the terrifying voices of people speaking Latin became much clearer and sound as though they were speaking the Trinitarian formula and other religious phrases. Strangely, the voices apparently fell silent abruptly, but that wasn't where the nightmarish experience ended for Jessica.
The fuck is all that shit?
That night, with the bathroom door open and the bathroom light on,
It's rude to
picture was taken
eavesdrop.
of her as she was sleeping.
Oh, hell
The person
no.
who took the picture was holding a note in front of the camera that said, "It's rude to eavesdrop." This was the security footage recorded one rainy night in Huacho, Brazil. In the recording,
Ain't no
a
way.
huge-looking woman is seen walking through the street in the rain.
Ain't no
And at
fucking
first,
way.
Seems relatively normal, nothing too unusual, until the woman seems to slowly disappear as she gets closer to the bottom of the screen, until she vanishes altogether.
Whoa, what the fuck? Optical illusion?
See, the woman seems scantily dressed for the weather conditions seen in the video. Sure, someone can say it's just a smudge on the screen,
She's
or
a
perhaps
ghost.
some other digital problem.
She's a
However,
ghost.
moments later, a motorcycle passes by in the same region in which the woman seemed to vanish, yet it's completely visible. And then the same could be said with the truck as it makes its turn, completely visible. It also appears that the driver of the truck may have been reacting to what he also just witnessed to be a vanishing woman.
Except the
Whether
tires
this is camera
look
trickery
weird
or
though.
really a wandering apparition is up to the viewer to decide.
It's a ghost.
This video was captured in Costa Rica on someone's home security camera. At an off hour in the night, out from the woods comes a bizarre, horrifying looking creature.
What the fuck is that thing? That thing don't even fucking care.
Person doing some kind of
Yeah, that's what I thought.
If this were Australia, they would just assume it's another spider. But you don't even have to watch too closely to ask why or how the arms and legs would be the same length if this were a person. If it was just a person contorting his or her body, the creature wouldn't appear as long as it does and would most likely have a noticeable lump in its back from them contorting their torso. Also, based on the dog's reactions, this was not the work of CGI, as they were reacting to something that's actually there and cause for alarm. This fourth video was taken from the Japanese
I don't
video
know.
channel
Can't explain
Mototoki
it.
Films. Their
It's a
channel
monster.
focuses on
That's what it
exploring
is.
haunted locations and capturing paranormal events on video. In January of this year, The owners of the channel were contacted by a real estate agent regarding a house he's been having trouble selling due to the fact that the house used to be owned by a family that mysteriously disappeared in 2013.
僕が前勤めていた不動産
Mysteriously.
屋さんの元先輩も何やら僕らに対してちょっと一度見てほしい物
まあその古い戸建てを会社で買ったんだけど、
The guy kind of said they
急
wanted
に
to
取り込みに来た人で、まあいくらで売りたい
Yes,
か聞くじゃん。で、そ
cheap
したら
price. So I was like, wow.
価格の破格
の売り主さんが持っていたその土地の上に3人の家族が家を建てて住み始めたらしいんですよね。ただ今から6、7年ぐらい前にある日を境にその3人
All of the previous
Fucking
owners' belongings were left in the
The
house. Leading to
the
mystery.
grudge, or
The real
what's it
estate
called,
agent refuses to even enter the
Junon, or
house,
whatever.
as he believes there's a dark entity in the house. He hopes that
The
they would be
Japanese
able to
version.
search the house and find any kind of explanation, as this is what they do for a living.
Or you say
The
you
agent
could say the
mentions
original
to make sure
version.
to keep all the doors shut while investigating the house, but doesn't mention why. As the two are exploring this closet, they notice something after reviewing the footage. See if you can find it.
Oh. What the fuck was that? Was that just a reflection of his thing? A reflection of his coat.
全部開いてるもん。
What's wrong with the lights? Dude, like maybe the powers, I guess. No one's paid the bill, so the powers are.
If you didn't see it,
Yeah, I didn't
behind
see
the
it.
clothes rack, you can see two bare feet underneath.
Oh
This
shit!
isn't the last time they can be seen. As they search a nearby room, the feet can be seen again, this time much closer and visibly barefoot.
Man, this is some grudge
Later on
shit.
in the night, one of the two decide to place a camera in the dark and sit in one room, waiting for something to happen. After about 15 minutes, he decided to investigate other rooms, while still remembering to shut all the doors behind him.
What is that? Is that a face? What is that? Oh, did it move? I'd be like, I am leaving. Well, time to go.
As you just saw, there was a face looking in through the door, but as he approaches, it disappears. There's no one outside the door. It could be speculated that the house is haunted by the family that mysteriously disappeared almost a decade ago.
So they're dead? Are their bodies in the
This
house?
was
Like,
some alleged sighting of La Llorona.
oh,
La Llorona is known as a ghost.
I
who
thought it
roams
was
waterfront areas
La
with her drowned children.
Ladronia or something.
This video was captured in Leon, Guanajuato, Mexico.
This woman who drowned her
Video is of a man
kids
running from what resembles La Llorona.
because her husband cheated on her. And then she drowned herself. It's my baby, yours. He's like, I don't want none. Oh, is she teleporting in front of him? Man, that sounds. I hope your cardio's up, because. Oh, okay, this is
In the
bullshit.
video, if you slow it down and zoom in, the figure in the distance resembles a woman in a white dress crying and yelling. The man was coming home from a party around 3 o'clock in the morning when he encountered the woman in front of him. As he starts to run in fear, the woman starts shouting at him, not making any sense of what she's saying. The man
She
allegedly
looking for a
died
kid to
3
help
days
her.
After the sighting,
Oh.
the cause of death was ruled a heart attack. This video was recorded in November of 2020, and it's just recently getting noticed.
Or he died from a heart attack later on. Like,
This was the footage captured by Russian YouTuber.
I ain't gonna lie, man. I would
He posts
be
high-quality ghost
hauling
hunt
ass.
videos, and this one might be one of the scariest. A woman had written to him about her deceased son, who was obsessed with the paranormal and finding out what happens to the human soul after death and the afterlife. One day he told his mother that he discovered a way to contact deceased relatives, and he traveled to the abandoned village where his late grandmother lived. A week later, the mother received a call from the son, saying he was hearing the voices of his grandparents among other entities. This call was the last that was heard of the son, and his body was found on the streets of the village. The cause of death was ruled to be acute heart failure. The mother asked Dark Ghost to visit the grandparents' old house where the son would often visit, and this was some of the footage he captured.
I've been to towns like that was like most of the people have moved, so you just see rows of houses like that just abandoned. It's been like that for years. And it's almost like, yeah, like shit like this, like they just left shit when they left like this. I can't. I don't know. They couldn't afford a moving truck, so like, yeah, we got a pickup truck. Throw what we can on the back of that shit and let's go. Or like some people, you'd be squatting in those houses too. Maybe it was an earthquake.
Various sounds, such as footsteps and knocks, can be heard throughout the video. And on multiple occasions, doors and cabinets can be seen swinging open or closed on their own.
I'll get the fuck out of here with this.
If you didn't see it,
Yeah, I saw
black
that
shadow
shit.
can be seen floating across the
I'm not
screen clear as
itching.
day.
Либо шкаф все грохочет, я не понимаю, либо комод.
I've been like, well, time to go.
Опа.
See, I couldn't do this because I'd be like, it's the first
Next,
thing
entering
I
a
see.
creepy red room
Even
populated with
if I'm
disturbing
not
pictures
sure,
that the woman's son would collect and bring to the house.
I'll just leave. I'm like, I'm leaving. Like clearly something is trying to kill me.
No.
Like, get the fuck out of here with this shit. What is that, a zombie? What the fuck is this?
Вроде бы как. У меня вообще всего тут такого, как бы фотографий таких.
So did he make what? Did he maybe he just did like, digital editing or something. He's like did Photoshop.
Просто жесть.
He like, you doing going through my shit. Ain't no way. That whole, even if I was in there, that whole house would be lit up. Oh, he left the camera. It'd be, I would have lights in that whole house, so I could see everything. I would never have it where it's like pitch black in the
Definitely one of
doorway.
those houses that
No
an
fucking
explorer
way.
should not go to alone. Based on the events in this video, there may have been someone or something in the house with him, watching him the entire time.
Well, he went by himself. He all right,
Human son?
I guess.
Or perhaps a much more hostile entity. Or could it all just be trickery? As usual,
You know, what would
it's
be
up to you to
scary
decide.
is you decide, or is it all just an elaborate hoax? You decide. Like, I think the scary thing would be is if it was an actual person, like in there, looking at him or walking in there, like that would be scary. Like somebody, like I said, squatting in that place, and they might have been in a basement, and you come in there, homeless or whatever, or somebody, homeless, and they can have a mental illness or something, and they think you, or they could just be homeless, and they think you coming in there trying to rob them, and they fucking, they come at your ass with a knife or some stick or something. And your ass, you just a urban explorer looking for ghost shit. There's no way. No, there's no way. Ain't no way that I would be in that house. Like, now what I'm saying. And damn sure wouldn't be in that house with one light to illuminate one room that I'm in. And then have the light. If anything, the light would have been in a corner facing outward, not facing me. So I can't see past the light. You ever have a bright light shine in your face and it's dark on the other side or dim. It's hard for to see on the other side of the light. And then it's like pitch black in a doorway. Man, you fucking up. It's like you trying to get killed. Like whether you believe in ghosts or whatever, I'm more concerned about it being a junkie or somebody going on a bad trip and thinking I'm there to attack them and they stab me to death. Like, that's what I'm worried about. Or shit. It could be the police and somebody in the neighborhood say, I see, you know, lights on inside. Like I know the house is abandoned and I don't know what's going on over there, but the police come over there and get startled and shoot me. Something. Or I just get arrested. Even though I don't know, probably banks probably own that and they just get they decrepit and break down. Or family members might own the land. They don't, because I know down south, I have family members that own land, and it'd be one of their relatives, a grandmother or something, die, and nobody wants to move in that house because they live like out away from the city. They live like way too far. Like you had to get up like 2 hours early, probably 3 hours early, just to get to your job in the city or close to the city. So the house just they own the land. Someone's still paying tax on it. Like, well, we'll do some eventually with it, or they'll loan parts of the land out so people can grow watermelons or corn or whatever, and there'll be a house on it, and the house will just sit there and pretty much decay, because no one wants to live there. And I'm like, why don't you just? I mean, you could have tried to sell. Like maybe they tried to sell it. No one wanted to buy. Like I said, a lot of those houses are way out in the boonies. So a lot of the people either they have like, hey, you can, they'll have. I've had seen family members that have moved in houses like that down south where somebody tell them, like whoever family member who was close to that person, or they left the house, so they like, listen, because they kids moved away and live in other states or whatever, and they like, you can live there you can live there, like you ain't gotta, we not renting it to you, that you just gotta get the the whatever utilities in your name, but you ain't gotta pay any mortgage, you ain't gotta pay no rent, because they want to keep the land and the family, so that we pay the taxes on it. But we not. But they're like, but we don't want the house just to decay and no one's buying the house, so that you can stay there. But they also like you can stay there until we say, because they pretty much let you stay there for free. They like you can stay there until we say otherwise. Like I've seen relatives that still live in places down there, like up in Bassfield or Prentice and shit, or on the outside of those towns, like Jefferson Davis or whatever. Or Jefferson Davis is an actual town, but like on the outside of those towns, that still live in those houses for years, but they don't own the house or the land. They're related to somebody, but they're like a distant cousin, and they like find out that they don't have their own place, and they bounce around from family member to family member, like they just stay at somebody's house until they tell, hey, you gotta get out, or we renting it to somebody else, and they find somebody else to move to. But then they luck out with this family member, like, hey, you can stay there. I've been in family members' houses where they don't have electricity. They have water, and they maybe have gas or something like that. But they don't have any electricity. Or there was one family member, she had electricity, she didn't have any gas. So she had an electric heater this is Mississippi, so it's only cold like when it gets like decently cold, like in the 40s during the winter, like 3 months out of the year. And she would just take it from room to room when, like, if she was moving from room to room. And I remember she pretty much stayed in the living room, but it was like a 3-bedroom house that somebody's grandfather had built. Like, that was great grandfather built it. You could tell it was like a old wooden house that somebody had done renovations to. Like, when I went there, I was like a kid when I saw this, and they have done renovations to it recently. It's like early 2000s, and she was staying there because they didn't want to. They were trying to sell the house, but they said the house was so far on the boonies, no one really wanted to live there. And well, at least no, young family, maybe somebody retiring, but it was so far out. Plus, the land hadn't been well taken care of. Like, a lot of grass was growing up and stuff like that. Besides, the pretty much the dirt or rock trail they had going up to the house, and because the house was pretty much like almost right on the street, and she stayed in the house. I think she still lived there. I ain't seen her in years though, but she was staying there. Cause I remember she was talking to my dad. She said, "I stay in the house. I don't pay no, uh, you know, mortgage and nothing like that." I'm just, she pretty much squatting, I guess you could say, for somebody. Like, somebody's like, "Hey, you can stay here," because she's, like I said, the type that bounce around from relative to relative's house, and they're like, "You can stay there. Yeah, the only thing you gotta pay is like the utility." And I think she was getting some type of disability check, and and she was staying. I guess she was using that to stay there. She's also a drug addict too, but she was staying there, and like I said, she didn't have any gas, but she had electricity, and she just had a she had a microwave in there, and it was a gas stove in it, but she didn't. That was in the house before. She didn't use it, and it was just sitting there, and I think that because she ended up getting some inheritance later on. I remember she had, because we went back by there. We hadn't been there in a few years. And we went back by there. Well, at least I hadn't been there in a few years. We were still living down there, and we went back by there, and it was like an electric stove in there. So, and there's some other like appliances. She had gotten a new bed because she was sleeping on like the couch that was already there in the living room, and she had like a new TV in the thing and stuff. So yeah, I think this is she said she had got some type of inheritance or something. Somebody like, I think her mom might have died or dad's died or something like that. So, but anyway, hope you enjoyed my reaction. And if you did, make sure you hit that thumbs up button down below. Make sure to subscribe if you're new here. Hit that bell so you'll be notified when I upload new videos. Comment down below. Share this video. I'll see y'all next time. Peace.